stomps that out. So, mind you, for those of you who are always, wondering about like, well, I know you're talking about in newbie replays not to group my troops up and not to have big blobs. Note what he's doing. At the same time as he is controlling the middle here with just a couple of units, Tinglechen also has got his pioneers capping stuff in the back. He's got guys back here reinforcing. He's got a nice spread of units. He's got the Panzer pioneers are back here dropping mines all over the place. So he's not grouped up in any way, which is great because strafing run. You don't want to do that too much as a good habit. So. Greyhound armored car, busy getting repaired here. Looks like, that gunner just comes back because he was getting repaired, I guess. Counts as a critical. So, Pioneers capping away in the back here, but check it out. sztefenfu is right on this. He knows how to play this game of footsie, and his riflemen are just going to sit here and just kind of doggedly hunt down these Pioneers in the meantime. So, massive frontal assault right now for Tinglechen. Tinglechen manning the machine guns. Notice he has one machine gun backing up, and the other machine gun in the front here is just kind of moving in and taking cover. What with the flare up there, you can see that it affects his own troops too, but it gives them uncovered armor, meaning they take extra damage. Really effective if you're going to have a lot of machine guns moving out here. So, really gutsy move right now by Tinglechen. You can see that this is a very vulnerable spot for him to be having all of his troops grouped up in. This position in particular threatens to divide his territory in half. If I take a quick look at the map, you can see that if you lose that, it's going to cut off all of his territory. And this anti-tank gun threatens to start attacking some buildings here. So really dangerous position right now. And knowing that there's an anti-tank gun there, sztefenfu is forced to kind of just pick away at the outskirts with his Greyhound. He can't really just charge in there because he's not entirely sure where that anti-tank gun is. But notice, he's got Greyhounds on both sides. This is just brilliant moves by both players. These are the kind of games that I love watching. Armored skirts are just about to be active here. Greyhound staying away from Panzerschreck Johann there, who is a brilliant addition to this strategy. And meanwhile, we have this other Greyhound here now who is just completely covered in Grenadiers. Grenadiers recently popped out of that Krieg barracks. They do have Panzerschreck upgrades, and they will be doing some damage here to this Greyhound. Greyhound trying its best to kill them all. And serious damage here. Note that the machine guns are still in the center, suppressing everybody out there. These Gladiator riflemen are really kind of completely ineffective. We do have this anti-tank gun moving around here, trying its best to keep an eye on this Greyhound, who is again picking away at the sides. And we even have some freaking stormtroopers are in here now. So Tinglechen is all over the map right now. And sztefenfu, in the meantime, is doing everything right. Whenever your opponent is this entrenched, you don't want to attack him. You don't want to just charge on in there. It's a horrible idea. So instead, he's just kind of dividing and conquering. He's trying to pick away at these troops from multiple angles. So note, by the way, he gets veterancy 1 and is now driving away. Good micro. He understands when he's outgunned. He sees all these stormtroopers with their Panzerschrecks coming straight at him and just goes away. Meanwhile, though, he's just keeping this anti-tank gun spinning around. Note that he hasn't once been within range of this anti-tank gun. Really good moves there, but at the same time, he's been managing to just kind of pick away at these troops. So much action going on here. It's really hard to kind of keep up with it. So I apologize if everybody else who's watching this replay is watching the minimap like, oh, why isn't he looking at that? Why isn't he looking at that? I don't know, man. But in the midst of all of this, remembering to repair his Greyhound armor car, not simply throwing units away, but definitely still using it effectively. Whoa, near miss right there with the Panzerschreck Johann, once again, by himself. Doesn't care, just going to stomp around here with his freaking Panzerschreck and just shoot at anything he can find. You can keep an eye on that, gentleman. But check out the pressure now. Barracks is suddenly being challenged. We've got the anti-tank gun here putting some pressure on that. And this Greyhound armored car is still being a pesky, annoying gnat, just kind of picking away here at the sides, making him pay for trying to cap these points. Definitely, it's hard to cap points when you're under fire. You take extra damage, and the one guy who's capping it can't fire back. So you can see he prevented that capture just by sitting there. But so many Panzerschrecks flying around, and including having this anti-tank gun pointed his way, he's in a lot of trouble here. So first Greyhound armor car is now mostly repaired, probably going to start poking back in there. But take a look at this map right now. Tinglechen is just dominating. He's keeping the pressure right in the center. Amidst all of this, do note that on the sides here, we do have a single rifleman squad kind of back capping some stuff there, but really not really helping out that much. You can see that these riflemen trying their best to take cover back there. It looks like a bunch of sneaky stormtroopers back here just took out the first Greyhound over there on the left-hand side of the screen. Second Greyhound is still intact, but taking tons of damage, hopefully resupplying from this barracks while they're trying to defend it, but they've pretty much lost all of their heavy cover due to that anti-tank gun, which has now moved back around on this side of the map here. So anti-tank gun being very mobile. really defending them, but it's just brilliant tactics here going on. These guys really have very high APM and are coordinating their units really, really well. Greyhound armored car just trying to hide, basically, trying to get away from all of these Grenadiers with their Panzer Shreks. And anti-tank gun now just kind of backing up to sort of a neutral covering position here. Meanwhile, the stormtroopers are just kind of poking on in. Probably going to take some shots at this barracks. Maybe even just going to chill out there. Let's see. Yes, taking some shots, and the barracks goes down. Not the worst thing in the world if you're a paratrooper normally, because you have paratroopers. Sorry if you're an airborne commander, but unfortunately, he does not have any paratroopers. So we have Duffy's anti-tank gun coming out, which is an interesting choice at this point in the game, because he knows, whoa, bombing run. Where's the bombing run going? Oh, bombing run. Yes! Bombing run comes in, completely takes out the anti-tank gun. Decimates these guys. This is exactly what I was talking about. Wow, massive, massive bombing run there. Bombing run, very easy to miss. I mean, it's a really powerful ability if you do it right and have leveled it up correctly. But you have to micro it, you have to time it, you have to anticipate the movement of the troops down there, and you can see that sztefenfu just has a great... wow, look at these, just hitting mines everywhere, guys retreating. But he has a great sense of how to use that ability and just decimated this place, completely killed the AT gun. And really, with a single bombing run, cut the hole in Tinglechen's forces that he needed to, and is able to get himself some breathing room right now. Okay, so what are we going to do? Still pressure coming from all directions here. We do have these close combat Volksgrenadier, singular, just one of them, out here trying to at least decap this point. Looks like he's going to get it and then hopefully retreat because he is definitely under fire. Heavy machine gun team, this is just a regular old Browning. Most likely picked up from a supply drop that came in. I'm going to go ahead and swap on up to Tinglechen's point of view, even though just to see how he's doing. I kind of want to watch the Airborne commander just because it makes it easier for me to catch when he's using strafing run and things like that, so I don't miss it. But you can see that he has all of these abilities activated, or at least he has access to all of his abilities at this point. I have not seen Inspired Assault used yet. And again, that's the only thing I'm a little curious about why he chose it. He's a top player. I'm not going to doubt his choices, but I'd love to hear his rationale on why he chooses that over something like heavy armor support and that sort of thing. So, sorry. Anyhow, now things look like they've changed quite a bit here. So, Tinglechen, in the meantime here, let's take a look at his army here. He has a bunch of, he's got one Volksgrenadier squad, Burger's Panzer Pioneers, Grenadiers, some more Pioneers, machine gun team, and 2 more Grenadier squads. So, a bunch of guys. Oh, sorry, the first group that I looked at was not Grenadiers. It was, of course, Stormtroopers. So, and now he's going to have some problems here with these early Greyhounds. So, the problem is that he lost that anti-tank gun, and he was using that to sort of keep these Greyhounds at bay. And now the Greyhounds really can just kind of do whatever they want. Sorry, it's just one Greyhound, singular. But now he's going to have some trouble with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just swap on back to sztefenfu, because like I said, I suspect that he's going to be using a lot of abilities here, and I want to kind of keep track of them because they're kind of game-changing. But Greyhound armored car now kind of defending away on the sides here. Let's see if he's going to take some extra pecs out there. Note, by the way, the Greyhound armored car has the 20% rate of fire, 24% health, and 15% weapon damage. All great abilities. I don't usually see Airborne players pick them, but you can tell that sztefenfu has got a much different layout than I normally see most Airborne commanders as well. So, Greyhound armored car coming on in. Whoa, got to look out there though. A bunch of Panzer Shreks. You never really want to fight that point blank. Gonna have to get out there, and no, he's gonna call down a strafing run and just stand there. He's like, yep, bring it. He's gonna just come at me, bro. So he's gonna stand here, fight off the rest of these guys. Will he chase him down? That's always important to try and cap those last units if you can, but it looks like that's gonna get away for now. By the way, note this medic running around here. We do have a super sneaky medic station. sztefenfu, once again, realizing that he was taking casualties in the front of his base, made sure he had a medic station right there to help him out. So Tinglechen still has dominating control. Note, by the way, Krieg Barracks is out, and he already got Veterancy 3 on his Grenadiers. So these Grenadiers are really, really tough. So Vet 3 Grenadiers moving around. We've got Flare activated on the ground. These Grenadiers are moving in to take out, and they do. They hit the Greyhound armored car and now are retreating, having taken some casualties. The rest of them just kind of there for support and backing off a little bit. So Grenadiers definitely were enough to take care of that situation. And meanwhile, over here we do have 4 close combat Volksgrenadiers. Unfortunately, you can see they were almost done recharging, but didn't quite. Note, by the way, that sztefenfu constantly air reconnaissance. That is really important as an Airborne commander. Constantly watch the battlefield. You can get that ability for free if you put points into it, and it's just awesome. very few, other than Blitzkriege, really nobody else has the ability just to see a random part of the map on demand like that. Flare with Blitzkriege is equally as powerful, but it does cost a few munitions. So, heavy machine gun team now setting up in the reverse position. sztefenfu wanting dominant central control is going to put this machine gun team here just to kind of keep infantry at bay. And for the time being, once again, we have a breather. So let's take a look at their bases. We do have just a Krieg barracks and the Kampfkraft Center for Tinglechen. And really no additional barracks here. So it looks like his only influx of new riflemen was actually from his medic station. So our Gladiator riflemen are trying to cap the central point here. We do have a brand new Greyhound armored car. You can see it's got its armored skirts, and it's just about to get the 50 cal upgrade. And it's just kind of, lightly keeping its distance here. It's still effective. It can be very effective against troops with Panzerschrecks, but just stay at max range. That 50 caliber machine gun does wonders against infantry. You can see normally 1 effectiveness against infantry. Now it has 4. It's a +3 basically. Again, keeping his distance, and make sure to keep engineers on that if you've got them. I believe he has a single squad of engineers still, so he could do that. Note, constantly backcapping. Constantly backcapping. That's one of the most important lessons for people to learn about this game, is always have some troops off on the sides doing something else. You can see he's got troops here in the middle waiting to capture the central points here. This rifleman squad is going to go for it. Supported by the Greyhound armor car, which unfortunately has its rear armor facing the wrong way. But we'll have to see what Tinglechen